Like I always call I have a term like we came up. Amanda helped me come up with the term neurospicy. I call it. I have a new term called AI obnoxious, AIO, which means like you send me something and you did it with AI, but you act like it would require like all this work. I
Mhm.
kid you not. I had somebody that sent me like this report and they said I spent 3 weeks doing this. I said no, you didn't. You put that in Chat GPT. I know what Chat GPT writing looks like. So what that's what's confusing to me, Harold, is that it's like, yeah, on one hand, it gives you all these advantages, but now just it's like a whole different world where everybody's got access to these same advantages. What is it about, I guess, being human and creative that can allow us to really turn a perceived advantage into a real advantage as opposed to something that might actually lead us to a world where things are cheaper and more commodified because everybody can do certain things now? What do you
Yeah,
think?
I mean, I recognize that because it feels accessible to those of us who know about it, we think that, oh, everyone has access to AI. But man, these platforms are changing fast. Over the summer, I was in San Antonio and we led a workshop for rising eighth graders on how to use artificial intelligence. So we started with what is AI? What can you do with it? What are some of the tools? And then from there, how do you use it responsibly? So we talked about ethics. And in preparation for that course, we're like, okay, cool. We'll get everybody laptops. We got a sponsor for the laptops. And then the students got the laptops, and we were trying to do some of the prompts, and you couldn't do them on the free versions anymore. So that meant 2 months before, when we were able to say, hey, make a video for free. Now, when we were doing the camp, the platforms have changed it to where that's not restricted. To do a video, you have to pay, right? And so what we're seeing is that yes, AI is accessible in general, but they are gatekeeping and putting payment gates in front of certain tiers of it. And so what we're going to get into from a challenge of as a business owner standpoint is all AI is not created equal. And you may think that you're competing with someone at the same rate, but they're paying for the premium version. They're using a couple of different models. And so as business owners, I think the opportunity we have as well as aspiring business owners is to make sure that we're investing in AI in the same way that we would our own professional development or as a
Hmm.
intern or a low skill employee that we're saying, hey, this is a task that needs to be completed. And so I look at my AI subscriptions as like, this is a team member who's going to complement the work we do. And the last thing I'll say on that is that AI is not the last thing that gets delivered to you, meaning I only use it for inputs. Morgan from Blavity talks about how she doesn't start any emails from scratch anymore. She always starts with AI writing some of it, and then she polishes and touches it up. So, like you said, you can tell when some of these emails or projects are written already from AI. No, you need to have your own personal spin, your own flavor, your own voice. And so that stuff is really easy to pick up on. But in a couple of months, it might not be as easy.
Hmm.
May I add, Dr. Boyce, is that I think it's really important to emphasize, and I feel like this is a given, but it must be said, is that you still have to know what you're talking about, right? And it shows, it's like to your point of, when you know someone has written this with AI and they really don't, they haven't mastered the subject, they don't have a frame of reference, they don't have a perspective on it. I think what's great about where we're at AI is right now, a lot of us are subject matter experts in our respective fields. We've spent 5, 10, 15, 20 years perfecting our craft, right? But we've been working in our business as opposed to on it, right? And it makes it very, very difficult for us to scale, right?